In this three-part tutorial, we will show how you can produce eye-catching signs using clear or translucent acrylics. This is a great way to produce really eye-catching lettering for signs, and it's often used with letters made with clear or translucent acrylic to be illuminated from behind. In this case, we're going for a black letter on a white background. We're using a letter that's been previously hand-cut from black Acrycast using a jigsaw and a template. This in turn is used as a template for the shape to be cut out of the white Acrycast sheet. After measuring the sheet to establish the correct position for the letter and taping the template in place, the shape is drawn around to provide a cutting guide. To start the cut, a hole is drilled. Then a jigsaw is used to cut the shape. Once this has been done, you can use a file to radius the corners of both the letter and the sheet. The letter is then put in place to check the fit. If adjustment is needed, this can be done using the file until a perfect fit has been achieved. When the fit is okay, the PE film is then removed from the front surface of the letter and the sheet, and then the letter is taped in place on the front side. The recommended adhesive is then applied around the edges of the letter. The tape stops the adhesive from seeping through the join to the front of the sign. Once the adhesive is cured, after approximately 1 hour, the tape can be removed. With handmade signs like these, it always pays to use a premium quality sheet like Acrycast or Acryglass XT to achieve a perfect finish. In this second part of the tutorial, we continue to show how you can produce outstanding 3D letters for signs. It's fairly labour intensive, but the results can be stunning. First, the PE film is removed from a previously fret-cut Acrycast letter. Then the edges are rebaited to approximately 1/3 of the thickness of the sheet. Strips of the Acrycast are then cut on a circular table saw to make the returns for the letter. The depths of the returns should be approximately 10% of the height of the letter, unless it will contain LED lights, in which case a 100mm return is recommended for even light distribution. For the curved part of the letter, a piece of string or other flexible material is used to measure the length of the returns. The point where the curve begins is marked. Then that part of the strip is gently heated using a heat gun until the material reaches its softening point. The strip can then be formed around the edge of the cutout letter and will cool and harden in the correct shape in a few seconds. Where the returns will join at corners, the edges should be ground to 45 degrees using a grinding wheel. Once this is done, the letter can be assembled. You should first tape the letter together and apply the recommended adhesive. This should always be applied to the inside of the letter. When the adhesive is cured, after approximately 1 hour, the finished letter is ready for fixing. In this last part of the tutorial, we show how accurately fixing built-up letters is easy using snap-fix locators. First, blocks are made from offcuts and glued in place on the back of the letters, using the recommended adhesive. They need to be made to the depth of the return. The male locator part of the snap-fix locator is then glued in place on the blocks. Depending on the size of the letters, 3 locators per letter is usually sufficient. When the adhesive is cured, the letters or text can be positioned on a paper roll, which can be used as a template for fixing. When the correct position is established, the letter is simply pressed down. Raised points on the male snap-fix locators make indentations in the paper roll. These indentations act as markers for the fixing positions of the female parts. It makes sense to mark these positions clearly on the paper with a pen. The template can then be positioned on a wall or a sign substrate, and the holes for the female fixings can be drilled accurately using the marked positions. Note that it is important to use the correct screws, raw plugs if required, and drill bits as recommended by the manufacturer of the fixings. Now bring the male locators on the letter or text into alignment with the female locators and press together to fix. This now concludes the 3-part sign making tutorial. We hope that you have found it useful.